This is rotator cuff repair with a sutureless PEEK implant. The skin is marked for a rotator cuff repair and standard portals are created. The subacromial bursa is debrided to visualize the tear. The rotator cuff tear is identified and ensured is a small tear. The bony footprint is then prepared. The sutureless PEEK implant includes the medial and lateral anchor and the base plate. Required instrumentation include a stop clip, 12 mm trocar tip, medial anchor push rod, medial anchor release tube, repusher, base plate inserter, lateral anchor release tube, and lateral anchor push rod. A medial anchor inserter is created by placing the medial anchor push rod into the medial anchor release tube. The medial anchor is then placed onto the inserter. The anchor inserter is then passed through the base plate inserter, and the stop clip is pushed onto the medial anchor inserter between the push rod and release tube. The base plate is then attached to the base plate inserter, ensuring that the notch on the inserter and the tab on the base plate are aligned. The medial anchor with the attached base plate is introduced on the inserter into the subacromial space through the cannula. The rotator cuff is pierced with the inserter and mobilized laterally over the prepared bony footprint. After the rotator cuff is mobilized over the bony footprint, remove the stop clip from the medial anchor inserter and drive the medial anchor into the bone by malleting the inserter. Continue malleting until the medial anchor push rod is seated against the medial anchor release tube. The medial anchor can be malleted with an impact angle of 45 to 90 degrees. The base plate inserter and medial anchor inserter are removed and the repusher is inserted into the subacromial space and placed onto the base plate. The repusher should be lightly malleted until the medial anchor is seated against the base plate so that the base plate's pins have fully captured the tendon. Care should be taken to ensure that the pins do not penetrate the bone and that the base plate does not over-compress the tendon to maintain adequate vascularity. The lateral anchor inserter is assembled by placing the lateral anchor push rod into the lateral anchor release tube. The lateral anchor is then attached to the lateral anchor inserter and introduced into the joint. The anchor tip is placed within the lateral tab of the implant and malleted down perpendicular to the bone until fully seated. This completes the implantation of the sutureless PEEK implant, and portals are closed to surgeon's preference.